And I want to talk about that because you know, I noticed on that interview at the Breakfast Club, Daniel was talking about some other stuff, and Chatty Patty got up twice to go back to tap Daniel to say something about my wife and my family and her situation, which we didn't want out there. It was a private situation. So when you talking about chatty patties, you was a chatty patty and you got up and tapped that man on his shoulder and asked that man, hey, you want to go ahead and talk about that now? You want to talk about Larry's situation? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a chatty patty. That's what, if you listen close, Charlamagne the God said, look at you being the chatty patty. That's what the he is. My gloves is off today, Killer. I'm sorry. I'm a little heated about that because I felt like that violated.
Cameron's friend Larry said it straight up. Where's the money at? And that's the question everybody been asking ever since. See, when Cameron's friend Larry called out Dame Dash, it wasn't just about ego or disrespect. It was about money, credibility, and image. For 20 years, Cameron showed nothing but love to Dame. Every interview, every shout out, all respect. But after Dame kept poking at him online, he finally snapped and said what a lot of people been thinking. Now again, this ain't no hate. This is grown men talk about perception versus proof. Because in business, it's not about how loud you can talk. It's about what you can show. Dame Dash built a legacy, no question. But this new conversation got people side-eyeing some of his claims. You can't say you made $100 million off Roc-a-fella, then another $100 million company after that. Expect nobody to ask where the numbers really went. Especially the people you beefing with right now. Now I'm about to play this clip for y'all. But before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
Because since you grew up with Dame, you know sometimes it can be overwhelming. That don't mean I ain't love him. That don't mean I ain't his friend. That don't mean I ain't fuck with him. None of this. Every interview for the last 20 years, all I've done is giving this man props on how he's helped me. But when you keep pushing my buttons on the internet and I did nothing to you, and then not only don't come back on you on the internet, all I do is just don't pick the phone up. I'll be like, I'm just not picking the phone up. That's just that. And then you keep poking me, pause. And my side, I'm like, all right, what you want me to do? All right, be Cam. Now I gotta be Cam. And that's how we got here. So no, I don't feel bad. Because according to Dame, all he do is make $100 million companies. He'd say, I sold Roc-a-fella for $100 million. Roc-a-wear $100 million. I'll make another $100 million company. Why are we dwelling on this if that's all you do?
Where the money at? Where the money at, my nigga? Where it go? Where the real money go? Where the money go, Cam? I'm being honest with you. I want to know what nigga get $100 million. I know it's taxes and where the money at, nigga?
Well, Larry, it's not fly to have money. It's fly to
I'm just trying to figure out where the money is. You get $100 million.
Learn what Dame said.
Well, listen, Larry, according to Dame, we not real men talk about other men's expenses.
Well, I want to talk about that. I'm sorry, Sin. I want to talk about that because you know, I noticed on that interview at the Breakfast Club, Daniel was talking about some other stuff, and Chatty Patty got up twice to go back to tap Daniel to say something about my wife and my family and her situation, which we didn't want out there. It was a private situation. So when nigga talking about chatty patties, you was a chatty patty and you got up and tapped that man on his shoulder and asked that man, hey, you want to go ahead and talk about that now? You want to talk about Larry's situation? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a chatty patty. That's what, if you listen close, Charlamagne the God said, look at you being the chatty patty. That's what the fuck he is. My gloves is off today, Killer. I'm sorry. I'm a little heated about that because I felt like that nigga violated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to get to I was going to get to all that, man.
My bad.
Yo, you got to express yourself. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But go ahead, son.
Would it be so bad if he was the chairman at Revolt? Because let me tell you something about people. I would say about 70-30 people believe that he's not, and there's 30% that believe that he is because they like, yo, he got the proof. He got the Texas. He got the break it down, you know. And well, first answer, would it be so bad if he was the chair, if he was made the chairman at Revolt? And then second, break down the story because a lot of people don't know what to think.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, Dame is always gonna sound smart to a stupid nigga. That's just the way he's very highly educated, has a great vocabulary, knows how to talk shit, talks very well, over talks people. So to a nigga who ain't paying attention, he always gonna sound smart. And not a dumb nigga neither. Dame's smart in general, very smart guy. So let's do the first thing. Would it be bad if he's the chairman of Revolt? I don't give a fuck. No disrespect to Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. I license my show back here, Talk with Flea, to them down there, Revolt. I don't work for Revolt. So if he's the chairman of Revolt, or if he thinks he's the chairman of Revolt, I just think he's a man sitting in a chair. You see, at the end of the day, if you think
This whole situation shows exactly why money and ego never mix well once friendship gets involved. You can have all the interviews, all the talk about millions and ownership, but at the end of the day, your reputation is worth more than any dollar amount you can claim. To me, this wasn't about who's richer or who's lying. This was about two people who once moved like brothers, now using the internet to prove points instead of handling things like they used to, face to face. And when that happens, nobody really wins. Now, I don't personally think Dame Dash is broke at all. I also don't think everybody who questioned him is a hater. What I see is a man who's been trying to remind people of his impact in the era where influence doesn't always pay the bills. But one thing about business, if you say you made 100 million, people expect to see something that looks like 100 million. And that's not hate, that's accountability. It's like this. Most founders who sell a major company rarely walk away with the full payout. After taxes, investors, and equity splits, it's common to only take home about 30 to 40% of that sale. So when people start flexing those big numbers, real entrepreneurs know the real math ain't always what it sounds like. But the personal part is what hit different. Once family names start getting thrown into things, that changes everything. Because when you bring a man's household into it, you're not debating business anymore. You're crossing into something much more dangerous. That's why I respected how calm Cam's friend stayed until he felt like the line got crossed. You can tell it wasn't about clout. It was about pride and privacy. At the same time, I do believe Dame Dash means well deep down. He's always preached ownership and self-reliance, and that message changed hip-hop forever. Whether people agree with how he moves or not, that mindset still matters. But sometimes being the loudest person in the room makes people forget your real accomplishments. So my take is this. Maybe this moment is bigger than just two old friends arguing online. Maybe it's a lesson in what happens when you start chasing validation instead of progress. Because if your work is really speaking for itself, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. The results do all the talking. That's the part I hope people catch from this. Money fades away, status changes, but integrity, that's what lasts. Whether you're building a brand, running a label, or just trying to make it on your own, make sure your name still means something after that money talk stops. So let me ask y'all this. Do you think Dame Dash's message about ownership still holds weight today? Or has the money talk overshadowed his legacy? And if your success doesn't look how people expect it to, do you still owe them proof? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.